We are Cactus Wrestling. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos.
Welcome back to Cactus Wrestling. We got a very special guest in the house here today, Mr. Eamon Tolomatos.
The cactus.
Cactus
Hey.
legend.
He's got the swag on. 5th place in the fantasy wrestling competition that we did.
Number one in your hearts, though.
Number one in our hearts.
Class M champion.
SWC champion as well.
Bethel represent.
Fumbled the bag and the blood round it opens, though. Woo.
That's okay. No one remembers those things.
Hey,
All that matters is class M's.
People from Connecticut called themselves a state champ after winning M's or L's or S's or whatever.
It is a state tournament.
True. It is a state tournament. That is true.
You could be a double state champion in Connecticut every year. It's wild.
Yeah, that's true.
So technically, you could be an 8-time state champ.
So what other states?
All of those.
What other states can do that? Come on.
Yeah. So welcome, Eamon. We today are going to be talking about the U.S. Olympic team trials. The seeds have just dropped, the brackets, and we're going through every single weight class, match by match. The brackets are out, posted online. We're going to give you our thoughts before competition kicks off this weekend, starting off with 57 kilos. And I think I've been saying it for a while. I think this is Spencer Lee's all day. He's beaten Nico, what, 2 times recently?
Two close matches. It's been 1 or 2 points against Nico in the last 2 times they've wrestled.
He's saying he's the healthiest he's been since high school.
Nico or Spencer?
Spencer.
Oh, that's important.
Nico's like 30
32.
Yeah, Nico was around when I was in college.
I love Nico Megaludis. Spencer Lee, he's really got a good side of the bracket. And this is no offense against Zane Richards. It's just
it's amazing that he's the one seed.
Well, it's like you see some of the names in the bracket, and you're like, wow, like Nico, Spencer, Dayton, Suriano, Thomas Gilman, and Richards is the one. And granted, he was the guy last year. Can't take that away from him. But it is. I look at this and I say, wow, this is Spencer Lee is gonna roll.
Yeah, I feel like Richards will probably get to the semis. He'll beat Lillidahl or DeShazer, but
I could see him losing to Lillidahl. Lillidahl's only, he's been really competitive on the freestyle level. He's gone with Spencer Lee.
Okay, but
didn't
Richards
win,
has beaten Gilman in 2 straight matches.
That was last year's news.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so it doesn't count now.
Doesn't count.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, but the interesting thing about Richards too is that he also failed to qualify the Olympic weight for us, and yet they put him as one. I'm not saying that should have any merit on the seedings necessarily, but it is.
You're not wrong. I mean, he didn't.
Eamon
He
brings
didn't
up a great
qualify the
point.
weight.
Whoever wins this bracket has to then go through the qualifier, and it's not going to be just a walk in the park to qualify 57 kilo.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, I think they changed. So the last chance rules, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's top 3 now can qualify for the Olympic Games at that last chance qualifier. I don't know if I'm right about that, but
I was usually you gotta place at one of those qualifying tournaments in order to qualify the weight for your country.
Yeah. Well, they used to be like at the last Olympic cycle. I think it was you had to either make the finals, you had to win it, which would have been even more difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully that's they changed it, because if not, like you guys said, 57 is going to be a nightmare
Yeah.
How do you think these 2 high schoolers are going to do?
I think the world of Luke Lillidahl and Jax Forrest. I mean, you know how I feel about Bo Bass
Marcus Blaze?
Jax Forrest. Marcus Blaze is the 3rd high schooler in this. That's what's crazy is there's so many
That's right. There's 3. I said 2. My bad.
A third of this bracket is high schoolers.
I don't think any of them are going to be in that best 2 out of 3.
No, but I would say I wouldn't be surprised if Luke Lillidahl has a close match with Zane Richards.
I mean, I'm sure it'll be a close
he's got to
match,
be
but I would
Spencer
pick
Lee,
Richards.
and he's gotten tech.
No, I don't think he's going to beat Spencer Lee. I'm just saying I think I could see Luke Lillidahl making the match against maybe Spencer.
I see. To make it to
I
the
could see
semis.
Forrest beating Lee and Crone.
Yeah,
Really?
I can see Forrest.
Yeah.
You know, some people were talking about Forrest knocking off Gilman.
I don't
That's
think
pretty
so.
That's
wild.
not
Well,
no
the thing
way.
is,
No
as we
way.
know, Gilman has a hard time making 57. And they're like, hey, if they can get him off the scale, which as we see, this is before seeds came out, as we see, that's not going to be the case. Gilman will have at least some time before he sees either Cronin or Forrest. I predict Forrest is going to go. I think his kind of scrambly, funky style could be a little tough for Gilman, but I still think Thomas Gilman's way too seasoned to lose to Jack
I'd be
Forrest.
pretty surprised to see Gilman go down against Forrest.
Same. Agreed. Too physical. He's too
Yeah,
physical.
he's so strong at this
Yeah.
weight as well.
Got that club.
Club. What do you think about Dayton Fix though?
I
I
think he's
think
gonna have a hard
Suriano
time.
takes him.
Same. Agreed. Yep. Soriano's going to beat him, I think.
So who do you guys have for your semis predictions?
I got Suriano on Gilman and Lee on Richards.
I got Lee on Lilidol. I got Suriano on Gilman.
I'll do Leon Richards and I'll do Gilman on Fix.
Of course, you had to go with Fix.
So I'll go Soriano, Gilman, and then Lee and Richards. But I will preface, I do think Dayton Fix is a bit of a dark horse.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Dayton's
It's also cutting down. Like,
well, that's what I mean. Is
doing what
Dayton
Vito
Yeah.
couldn't.
he has a hard time making 57. I mean, you look at Dayton and you're like, wow, he is so muscular at 133 at 61 kilo.
Yeah.
Where is there another 9 pounds for him
Yeah.
to lose? And I think that Suriano is just chomping at the bit to get to guy like Fix when he's tired.
Yeah.
And as we saw in NCAAs, he's been way too defensive. And that kind of worked against him at, when he wrestled with Nashon, when he wrestled against Vito last year.
But you could say the same about Soriano, though.
Agreed.
His offense,
Yeah.
it's limited now, too, I noticed. It's like, what is this guy? It's the same sort of style matchup as Fix.
Yep.
So it's like, I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, but wasn't Fix weighing in at certain times this year around like 130?
Some people
Yeah, I
talked
think
about
you're right.
it.
I think he was light. Apparently.
So he
Well-
was doing it right. He was trying to stay light, but not too light.
Well, and now we have to mention at this point the name that is not in the bracket, Mr. Arujau, who unfortunately cannot make the cut down.
He had been seated. Oh, he would have been sitting in the semis.
The
He would have been
semi.
on
he would've been sitting in the semis,
Gilman's
right.
side of the semis.
Oh, so yeah, he would have been on the bottom half of the bracket, sitting in the semis for Gilman. Oh, wow.
I
Yeah,
still
here's
don't
the
think he
reward
would
for
have
winning.
I still don't think he would have won it though.
It's too much
That's
weight
great.
for him at this
Yeah.
time. I think
I don't know. They get a lot of rest though for before that semis match though.
Yeah,
Before
like,
that's true.
weight,
That is true.
I don't know, but
No
yeah,
joke.
I don't. It's terrible that he wasn't able to make the weight, but like you guys said, I don't know if he would have. I don't know if he would have won it.
I know there's some commenters out there, and maybe I will name names, maybe I won't, that, said, hey, you don't know what you're talking about. Vito shouldn't take an Olympic redshirt year because he's going to win NCAAs and he's going to win EIWAs, which you also were wrong about, no offense. And said that, hey, like, he's going to make 57 kilo. All year, I've been saying it. I think that it was a mistake. He had the Olympic red shirt. Go win, win worlds this year, win nationals.
Yours took an Olympic red shirt.
Yeah. And he's going to come back and have a great next season in folk style.
Yeah.
I think that Vito wrestled, 11, 12 matches this year. He didn't win the conference championship. He was banged up at NCAAs. He's talking about that he's still hurt now, and he's even admitted he can't make the weight cut. It's too short of a time to descend from 33 to 57. If he spent all year working on shrinking down, practicing freestyle, doing that more specific thing, who
He
knows?
should have just been bulking to 65.
I think that's a super tough weight class. I don't think he has the strength for it.
He should
Well,
have
that's a good segue as
Well,
we
do you want to talk about who's going to
well-
win 57?
Yeah, I was going
I
to say,
said it
whoa,
from
whoa,
the
whoa.
I said it from the
Jack-
jump, Spencer Lee. I mean,
Yeah,
I
Jack already
don't
said
think there's much to
Spencer.
talk about here.
You don't
he's
think
gonna blitz the
Gilman or
competition.
Suriano could take Lee?
No, Lee's winning this. I feel the most confident about this. This is Spencer Lee's.
I mean, I kind of want to see Gilman get there just so Gilman Lee, because you got the double Iowa.
Yeah.
But I think Suriano's going to be in the finals against Lee.
Whoa! Gilman.
I don't think that at all. Yeah, I
Nittany
don't think that.
Lion.
I think
Handsome
Gilman Lee.
Tuesday.
Yeah, Handsome
Handsome
Tuesday. is
Tuesday.
right.
Handsome Tuesday's making it.
He's making it.
I think I agree with Jack. I think Spencer's going to win the top. I think Gilman's going to win the bottom. And
You don't think Suriano's going to beat Gilman?
no, I don't. Suriano is like a very strange person outside of the wrestling world.
What does that have to do with
What does
anything?
that have to do if he could
I
beat
just
Gilman?
think that like he's gonna something weird is gonna happen here. Like he missed the trials. I think a few years ago he's like, oh, I have COVID all of a sudden.
though. He had
Yeah, that's what I mean.
COVID.
Like weird stuff just pops up in the Nick Suriano world.
Well, I mean,
The weird thing is he's going to be in the Olympic trials finals.
Regardless, he's gonna lose to Spencer Lee.
I don't know. I think realistically, Gilman's probably going to make the finals. I want Suriano to make it, but realistically, I think it's going to be Lee and Gilman. Unfortunately,
Battle of
What do you-
Iowa.
I think it's gonna be Gilman losing though. It's tough. But we've seen Spencer Lee has been a freestyle prodigy his whole career. And if he is truly as healthy as he says he is, it's time for him to take that senior level step that we all expected years ago to happen. And Gilman's going to give him a fight, but I think it's going to be too much. And I think Spencer Lee is going to be the future of 57. And the Brands brothers will retain their job a little longer.
The Brands bros keep their job a little longer. Iowa loves those nuts, so they're not going
yeah,
anywhere.
they're not going anywhere.
That's
So does
a
Penn
topic for
State.
another video.
Penn State fans love them too because they don't win.
Very good at being almost good.
Well,
Almost.
drop your comments down below. Who do you think is going to win the weight? And as we dive into 65 kilos,
This
got
weight's
some
wild.
interesting name. I'm partial to these number 4 seeds. Andrew Aliris has caught my eye as the number 4
definitely.
seed.
I'm a
I
little-
feel like,
He took the Olympic red shirt and has been training freestyle
Yeah.
all year.
Yep.
and I definitely think this bottom half with Zane on the bottom half, where you have Yanni, you have
Oh,
James
yeah.
Green, even Caleb Mark, like
No,
Lee
McKenna
and
there,
Ivan,
too.
like that's a gauntlet of a bottom half. I feel like the bottom half is definitely tougher than the top half.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, everyone on the top half lucked out that they don't have to go through Zane just to get to the 2 out of 3. But I mean, how affected do you think Zane's going to be by dropping 5 kilos?
Well, we saw it when he did that last time. Didn't he lose to Nick Lee?
No,
Yeah.
well, yeah, he did
Yeah,
to
he-
Nick Lee and McKenna.
Nick Lee was on fire that day. He beat Yanni and Rutherford in back-to-back matches.
Yeah.
Who
How
did
about
he beat
Caleb
Nick Lee
Henson
again?
in that bracket?
You mean Caleb Larkin, you mean?
No, Henson. I mean, he qualified winning a national title, and he just chose not to wrestle in the trials.
Yeah, that's the same thing. I mean, we're not seeing DeSanto either.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I'm-
where's DeSanto?
Disappointing because I love watching Austin DeSanto wrestle.
Oh, yeah, that is disappointing. Who did Nick Lee just lose to?
Oh, it was Gomez.
yeah,
Gomez.
Oh, that's right. It was Gomez. Right.
And he was up.
He's
on
happy
points,
Gomez
too.
isn't in the bracket to
Yeah.
spoil things.
Well, Gomez tweeted out something like "Have fun" when they were
Yeah,
doing all the
Have fun. I already got my Olympic spot. I took it from Nick Lee.
Ken Mendes upset McKenna.
I don't know.
I say no.
I just don't know if Mendes is strong enough. McKenna,
Yeah, like I feel like McKenna is gonna do pretty well. Like I could see McKenna beating James Green.
I
think
don't. Yeah, well, I think he's going to beat James Green because James Green doesn't perform at 65 kilo well. It's too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had hip surgery. He said, not too long ago. I think Pantelio and Green are not going to be at their best because it's 65 kilo.
Right. Seth Gross. I mean, Seth Gross has been a world team member before. So
Yeah.
and
Yeah, it's a
Pantaleo, I mean, his best performance was when he got upset in the first round and won like 7 to 9 matches straight.
that's true.
So
And then you got Bo Bartlett, Nashawn Garrett. Winner will get Andrew Alirez.
Nashon, who was just in Final X.
Yeah, that's 61.
That's true. That was yeah, but still,
Who did he wrestle at Final X?
Vito, right?
Vito.
Yeah.
Vito,
Yeah.
I think.
Vito, and it was kind of close at times.
Yeah.
But you think the high schooler is gonna upset Kolodzic?
No,
Well, didn't he beat him at Bill Farrell?
Larkin, I think, did beat him at Pharrell.
I think so.
Um,
But I think he's back in form. Kolodzic, he looked really good at that last chance.
he looked really tough against Bo Bassett, and Bo Bassett was was buzzsawing his way through. I mean, he teched. First off, he beat Aiden Valencia, who
Oh yeah,
is
that was
a
the
great wrestler as
closest
well.
match too.
That was his closest. Then he techs, Schnalte, who was not mobbing in that match, and
Not mobbing.
but then Bo gets absolutely buzzsawed by Kolodzic. He 10-0'd him in under a minute, and that's the talk about, hey, our leg lace is overpowered, and we've kind of hashed this out before, but
The answer is yes.
he looked really good. He looked returned to form, and I would think that Larkin has maybe not the best odds against him this time.
All right, so who you got for the semifinals at the top, and then who's facing Zayn?
I got Alirez on Lee.
Yeah,
Who's
I
facing
agree with that.
I agree as well.
it would be weird to see Bo Bartlett win a match against Alirez, but it's also been
I mean,
weird to watch
you're
Bo.
assuming he's going to get past Nashon Garrett.
I think he will.
Yeah.
I think for some reason Bo is like weird in freestyle where he like beats good guys, and then you're like, well, how did that happen? He has no offense.
I mean, I don't know what happened in that match against Nick Lee, but
That's what I
they
mean.
completely hosed him. I still to this day
Yeah,
not
they did hose him.
like what
Nick
happened
Lee
there.
thought he lost.
Bo's hoping for that rematch against Nick Lee. He's like, if we
They-
see each other in the semis, I'm making the finals this time.
They raised his hand. They raised Bo's hand.
Bo
Yeah,
ain't
that-
getting past Alirez. He might get past Garrett, but he ain't getting past Alirez.
Bo
I
is
think-
really good at tying matches and winning on criteria.
Yeah.
I think Bo will beat Nashon, but will lose to Alirez. I think Nick Lee will beat
I'm putting
Seth
I'm putting McKenna against Zayn. I think
I'm-
Yanni's gonna have another disappointing performance.
I'm gonna put Yanni against Zayn, but I think Zayn's gonna win.
I think
But
Zayn's going to win the whole thing.
I
Oh,
think
you have Zayn
Zayn's
winning
gonna
the
be
whole
in the
thing.
best 2 out of 3
Yeah.
against Alirez, but I think Alirez is gonna win because Zayn's not gonna do great with the weight cut.
I
But he'll
also
have-
think Alirez is gonna win the spot.
I think that Eamon pointed it out in the last video at 57. I know it's a little bit different, but I think that he'll have a lot of time to recover before he has to wrestle.
But he's got to make weight 2 days in a row.
I think Zayn's going to get it done. I have a good feeling.
So the interesting thing about it is
Feeling, that's
apparently
it's those good feelings inside that.
the finals match for 65, apparently it's supposed to be in the morning that next day. So a lot of the other finals are going to be towards the afternoon or
Yeah, 'cause
later.
they
in the
split it up with the non-qualified weights are going in the morning session, and then or they're doing both the first 2 rounds in the morning session, but the other round is just doing round 1, and then round 2 is in the afternoon, and round 3 maybe or at whatever time it is the second session. But
Yeah, I'm gonna say McKenna because just the way Yanni's been performing. Man,
me
I don't
and
know.
Eamon are on the same wavelength here.
Yeah, I just think McKenna is gonna
2
make
weeks
it,
in a row.
and then I also think that Alirez will beat Nick Lee, which is bold, but we'll see.
Then
So
who
wait,
do you-
who you picking,
who-
McKenna or Rutherford?
McKenna.
You're picking
Oh.
McKenna to be in the finals against Alirez.
Yeah,
Bold, super bold.
Whoa!
that
can
is
see
really
it, though.
bold. Because
That's
McKenna,
what Cactus shirt bold.
Yeah, cactus shirt bold. Dang. I mean, McKenna usually flops at some point, so
The
that's why I
issue
didn't pick him to make it all the way.
he can't make it. I don't know. He's just very, like you said, he flops. It's like
Like he could flop against Mendez. Like
I know.
he could be down that early. I wouldn't be surprised, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he was in the best 2 out of 3. Like he's
Yeah.
got the skill. It's just like I don't know what. Maybe it's between the ears that goes wrong. Joey Bag of Donuts with his reviews.
Yeah.
All right. Drop a comment down below. Who you guys think will win at 65 kilos?
The Zane train.
All right. Here we go. 74. This is arguably one of the deepest weights. Although
But it's lacking two guys that could have been there.
Could you
Your guy,
imagine-
Mike. Carter. Where's Carter?
Yeah, where's Carter?
Could you imagine having Carter and David Carr in this bracket?
Yeah,
It would
yeah,
just
and
be-
David Carr, who got injured. Like,
It would be the craziest 74 kilo bracket I think we've ever had, just to meet Kyle Dake in the finals.
yeah, no, I know. So there would only be one bye for Burrows, and then O'Toole and Nolf would also have a first round match if Carter and Carr were in this. That's
So
wild.
what happened with Carr? Because did you just get
He
injured?
put something out that
Yeah,
he got
had
injured,
ankle injury.
like in the past week or something, and that he's just not going to be able to compete. So,
Disappointing.
yeah.
well, lots of former Penn State wrestlers.
I love that three of them are on the bottom there.
Yeah, to go up against Chenzo versus Haynes, and then the winner will get Jason Nolf. Pretty crazy. Chenzo and Nolf are teammates back in college. Levi Haynes is the current up and comer. We haven't really seen much out of him from freestyle, so I don't really know what to expect. I think Messenbrink is probably the higher touted freestyle wrestler.
Wasn't Chenzo and Nolf like a semifinal at the
Yeah, last year.
It was
World
a
Team
final.
Trials last year?
And
It
I
was
think
like a final
Or
for
the finals or
Olympics.
something? Like
Yeah,
before Final X?
I
Yeah,
want to
I
say
think
Nolf
so, yeah.
tapped him though, or almost did.
So like
But it was like a
that's
late
a crazy early round matchup that like because Chenzo could knock off Nolf. Like that's
I don't think he can.
he could.
I mean, he could. I don't think he will. I guess is what I should say.
Yeah, okay.
Will he even beat Levi?
Tyler Berger, he was in Final X. He's seated 11. What's the seating criteria?
I don't like Tyler Berger. I feel like he's a super dirty wrestler. I feel like he's gonna probably give a concussion to
Fought his
Meyer
match
Shapiro.
against Zane at Final X.
I feel like he's
that's-
probably gonna have Meyer Shapiro, who's like been dealing with concussions and has having like the rhinoceros like help concussion.
Oh
headgear.
yeah, Berger will probably win.
I think Berger's gonna be like, oh sweet, soft head.
Yeah,
I
Berger
think
will
Berger-
probably win by injury default.
I see Shapiro defaulting out of that match. I think Berger is a little bit over the borderline.
Defaulting
for-
I
think-
wouldn't be surprised to see that.
Berger's too, like, did you see I mean, Zayn is like a well-known like bleeder from the face, but I feel like anytime he wrestles against Tyler Berger, they have to like break out the med kit and just wrap his whole head.
Wait, so you guys are picking Vincenzo Joseph automatically to beat Haynes? Is that your pick, or
I'm not.
Yeah,
I think he'll beat Haynes.
I think
Haynes was-
Chenzo's good.
I don't know
So
about
was-
that.
Haynes was a world teamer and he took 7th at Cadet Worlds.
At Cadet Worlds.
What has Vincenzo done in freestyle?
He made the US Open final,
When he got teched by Nolf? Yeah, that was super cool.
but it was a close match until like the end. It wasn't like a blowout.
It wasn't like one of those 1 minute texts where it
Yeah,
was just
like-
a doom.
Oh, but how is Nolf done on the world stage?
Well,
No,
considering
just
the
the
weight
one
that he
count.
chooses to wrestle at, he hasn't had an opportunity to do anything.
Yeah.
I think he
That's what I
probably
mean.
could have gotten a medal had he been the guy.
See, this
I
is
don't
why
know.
countries should be allowed multiple entrants into.
Thank you.
That would be a great rule. I agree.
Thank you. It happens in swimming. It happens in track and field. All these like individual sports that contribute to a team score, it's allowed. I don't know why wrestling draws the line at that, especially when it's like, oh, you compete for Team Puerto Rico. Where do you live? Oh, I live in America. Where do you train? Also in America. Who are your coaches? Americans. Sounds like Team Puerto Rico to me. Or it's like, oh, I
Serbia.
wrestle for San Marino and their town of 1,000 people. Oh, that's cool. Do you live there? No. I train in Michigan.
No, my grandparents.
I'm coached by Michigan. I use the Michigan resources. Like, I hate that because we have so many good wrestlers that it should be like, we should be able to send, Americans should be able to send 6 guys deep to Worlds and be like, wow, can you believe we took first, second, third?
Yeah, like
and
what's the barrier to doing that? Like why oh, the bracket would be too big? Like what? we
I know,
clearly
like,
know that they've done 100-person man brackets before. So like,
Well, you guys know how the IOC is. Look at Chamizo. I mean,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah,
God, it's just
I
it's
think
another video.
that
Thank
is.
you for another video. As fans of the sport and to be the best in the world, you want to beat the best. And we see this even with Russian nationals. Is the guy that takes second at Russian nationals probably would be a medalist. It's not fair
Yeah.
to wrestle a guy that, from a country that just squeaks by and goes, gets teched and then doesn't make the repechage match. What basically goes 0-1. And it's like, cool,
Yeah.
that guy is now better at Worlds than the guy that had a nail biter against, the Russian tank.
right.
If we want the best, we should send the best. And that means
Agreed.
if you're a small country, no offense to it, it's just, we want to see these top guys. I would love to see 6 Russians deep, 3 Iranians, 4 Georgians, and 6 Americans in a weight class and be like,
Yeah.
wow, now this truly is the best in the world.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, Mike, you never addressed the Carter Sirachi point. What's your thoughts?
Yeah. I'm super bummed for Carter. I didn't think he was going to make the weight. We'll talk about it in a second.
But he was so confident. He said it was easy. Like he was saying,
Everything Carter
and he was
does-
gonna
he
end-
said,
everything Carter
Burrow's
says is
career.
confidence.
he
Carter
was
is
going
the
to
most-
end Burrow's career.
He's the most confident person, I swear.
is that confidence though? Or
Burrow's comment
cockiness, I don't
back
know.
about that was hilarious.
yeah, I saw
Burrow's-
that.
He's like, going to be tough to do that when you're up at 86 or something like that.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to
I-
end my career from
He's
up
not
there.
gonna wrestle.
Well,
He's
that's
not
what I was
gonna
about to say. Is we'll talk about it at 86, but I don't see Carter wrestling. I think he's just like, F it. I'm not going to make the weight. I'm not, my leg injury is worse than I thought or something.
So now he's just gonna completely scratch. Went from
Yeah.
making 76 bumping and then
Well,
Well,
see
yeah, I
at
mean, if
80
you look in the bottom right corner, Angel Zamaran, Carter wants no smoke, so he moved up.
So
There you go.
I got Burrows versus Facundo.
You don't
I
think
got-
the bull is gonna win?
No, Facundo's actually a very good. Like freestyle is his main style. Like he's a much better. and-
Bull's done awful in freestyle, so
I know, so it's super great. But he is. Hey, no one wins Big Tens like he does, though.
that's
True.
true. He's a 5-time champ.
Something like that. I think
He's
Messenbrink
five-time
is gonna
Big Ten
run
champ.
through his side of the bracket. I would say
wait, did you say
Yes.
Burrows versus Facundo? Because isn't Facundo
No,
wouldn't wrestle?
I'm saying that'll be the net. That'll be the first
Oh,
matchup.
okay,
This
okay, yeah.
one, yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
say Messenbrink versus
Monday.
Burrows?
Yeah, I would see Messenbrink versus Monday, and then Messenbrink versus Burrows for the top half.
You don't
Who's gonna
think
win
Monday pulls it off?
No,
What?
have you seen Mitch Messenbrink? He's been in.
Didn't Monday like barely lose to Jason Knopf recently?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's like a couple
It was
points.
like a 1-point match or something.
Monday's
Messenbrink-
good at
Yeah,
freestyle.
but Messenbrink teched his way through Worlds.
Yeah, but
Teched-
That was
Messenbrink
not
is the
senior
side.
worlds. It's different.
Okay, but what has Monday done recently in freestyle besides losing a close match to Jason Knopf?
Well,
But
it's-
Messenbrink is undersized for the weight, and you know that. He's not big enough for 163.
But he was big enough at 165 to almost get it done.
Well, almost isn't.
In college, that's not to almost get a world title.
I didn't say he's going to beat Burrows. I just said he's going to beat these guys. I mean, he won 74 kilo worlds at juniors, teched his way through.
I mean, I wouldn't count out Quincy Monday.
I'm not counting out. I'm just saying Messenbrink's going to win.
Yeah, I mean, I think Messenbrink could win, but realistically, I think Monday is going to win that.
No,
one.
it would be pretty wild if Messenbrink was the one that ended Burrows' career.
Yeah, that
I
would.
would love it. And then beats Kyle Dake and just rides off into the sunset.
Okay,
me.
that's-
I don't think he'll beat Kyle Dake though.
No,
He's not beating Burrows either.
Oh yeah, Burrows is winning the top. Burrows wins the top. I think he beats Messenbrink.
I mean, I think he'd beat Monday too if Monday's there.
I was concerned about O'Toole's his
Conditioning.
conditioning at NCAA's.
Yep.
So for that reason, I don't see him beating or making, I guess, that finals. I have Burrows versus Nolf, and I think Burrows gets it done, and then Burrows will wrestle Dake out of a best 2 or 3.
I think I'd rather see Burrows wrestle Dake than Nolf wrestle Dake because Nolf
Yeah.
just he can't
Nolf can't score against
figure it
him.
out.
Yeah.
I do think North will beat Burrows though.
But
I
I'm
think.
gonna go crazy and pick Vincenzo Joseph to make it against Burrows.
What?
He's
I
trying to
can't.
make me mad.
I can't go there.
Genzo's gonna knock off Nolf, knock off O'Toole, have Burrows.
Wait, Eamon, you said Nolf is going to beat Burrows?
Yeah, I do think that.
Wow.
I also
He almost beat him
agree.
last time they wrestled at 79, and this is at 74, and Burrows is I don't know. He's yeah.
You
I
don't
agree
think
with
Burrows
Eamon.
has like a
on
chip
Jake is the match we all want to see.
after all the drama that's been going on with Bo Nickel and everything? You don't think Burrows is going to have that light? You know, this is literally his last go, probably.
Jason Nolf is really legit. Like he's like world medalist level, I think. And people, yeah, I mean, he's just really legit. I think he's gonna make
No slouch.
and he's gonna lose again to Kyle Dake because he can't score on Kyle Dake. But I don't know who can. So except that what's that guy?
So there's one guy that can.
Yeah.
Eamon's taking the words right out of my mouth. I agree wholeheartedly. Nolf over Burrows, Dake over Nolf. Burrows retires. I think it's too much weight for him. You know, going from 79 down to 74. You know, 5
Should have gone up
kilos.
to 86.
He could. I mean, he had a close match with David Taylor a few years ago, but Burrows is almost 36. It's a lot to keep up with these young guys that are just as talented and are maybe a step quicker.
Yep.
That's crazy. He's almost 36, and a guy like what? Ladarian Lockett is what, 18?
Yeah.
Living the dream, man.
Oh yeah. Imagine if he knocked off Monday.
Twice as old. Twice as old.
I mean, I doubt that, but
Yeah, that's not happening. I don't think.
Drop your 74 kilo predictions down below.
yeah, I doubt anyone's gonna beat Dake, but be crazy to see.
86 kilos. I mean,
Mike,
this
you
one.
wanna repeat that? I don't think we were recording when you said that.
I think Pat Downey is going to win this whole weight. He's going to beat David Taylor. 2 straight matches, both by technical superiority. And while he's doing that, yeah, he's going to just dominate it. Pat Downey is going to win this whole weight.
Is he still in legal trouble? Like, is that like an actual thing? Like, I'm not kidding.
I swear, I didn't think he was allowed to wrestle. I honestly didn't think he was allowed to
How
wrestle.
does he qualify for this still?
Has he
That's what I
even
mean,
been training?
I mean, he's the Lizard King. He doesn't have to train.
I just don't get how he qualified for this still.
I don't think so. Carter's going to scratch and Pat Downey's going to scratch, so it's not going to matter. Like this
Yeah,
match,
they're both gonna scratch.
yeah, this match is just going to be swept, and they'll be like, okay, the bracket's now smaller. Like,
So it's gonna be Max Dean on Trent Hidley.
I agree. I don't think either of them are showing up.
It's just such a disgrace to people who could.
yeah,
If they both show up, do you think either of them beats Hidley?
No.
no.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Especially with Carter's leg injury. This would what is
You're
this?
not gonna beat the mountain man of a Hogan.
This is what, 190 pretty much? Like
It's 189, 190, yeah.
yeah.
yeah, I mean, Carter didn't really wrestle anyone who was super offensive, and Hidley is very offensive. I don't think he could keep up with him, especially on one leg.
I think he's just going to get that underhook, and because there's a push out. If Hidley wanted to, he could just get an underhook and just walk Carter out of bounds.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you going to do? You have one leg to push back off of. My underhook's legendary, and I'm 20 pounds heavier than you.
How about Derringer though?
Underhook is legendary.
Derringer
Yeah, I like Derringer at this weight.
against Aaron Brooks. What do you think if he makes it there?
It sucks for Derringer.
I mean, that's the thing. Derringer's huge, muscular, but he
is massive.
He's a
he
big
just can't get it done. Like,
no.
even if he did get past Brooks, he's not going to get past the bottom half. Like Zahid or Hidley, Marsteller, like,
Great. Yeah.
I don't think Derringer's got enough in him to win 3 or 4 of those kind of matches. I feel like maybe he could get one, if that.
Yeah, it's just not happening. I think it's pretty straightforward, honestly. I think it's gonna be Zahid and Brooks.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't think Marsteller has a chance?
The interesting thing with Marsteller is it's because of his like size. I feel like that does pose a challenge, but Zahid is just like he's nonstop. Like the guy will not stop.
Interestingly, though, Zahid did struggle against Aaron Brooks, I think partially because of the weight of 86 kilo. We saw that he kind of gassed out last time they wrestled here. He went up to 92, didn't have that issue with his, gas tank. I could see Chance maybe wearing him down enough that he could get him to hit the wall. But I don't think it's going to.
I mean, Marsteller can beat Jordan Burroughs. I wouldn't say he couldn't beat Valencia.
It's different though. It is, it is different.
Valencia is one of the most talented wrestlers I've seen. And didn't he blow that match against Brooks? Wasn't he?
Oh
up
yeah,
there?
he had like
was
an
up.
8-0 lead or something.
Yeah, I think it's completely.
Yeah, he was up. But
Yeah, it was looking like he was going to tech him and have like an easy time doing it, and then he just slowly let it slip.
Brooks is tough.
I wonder if the that bad for Valencia. Like I really do wonder that.
He's tall. I mean, he's super tall from what I've always heard, and
And Hidlay had a really good Bill Farrell.
yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm picking safe Valencia, but I could definitely see Hidley also. Or even Mars. It's just tough, that bottom side. It's really tough to say, but I think Valencia is the most credentialed out of them.
Which is why I'm going Marsteller.
Most
Classic
credentialed
pick.
against him.
That's classic Mike right here.
That is a classic.
Goes
Mike.
against the grain.
Yeah, Marsteller is he's going to do a backflip like he did after Final X.
He's not.
Sure, we
He's
were
not-
there. We saw it.
He's not beating.
I don't know that Marsteller could beat Brooks, but I think he could beat Zahid.
Well, here's the better question. Can anyone knock off David Taylor?
Not yet.
Not yet? What do you mean not yet? David Taylor might be done after this.
I think that
He's what, 34 years old, 33 years old?
No,
I think
he's not. He's at most
33.
33. I think he was. I think he's a year younger than me, or he just turned 33.
I think he's 33. I think that Brooks will surpass him. I just don't think that is this weekend.
Will Brooks take?
Wait, Mike, you're saying that Mirsola isn't going to beat Brooks?
He's going to be the future of Penn State, but he's not. He's not going to beat the current Penn State.
He beat Maxine,
Think
though.
he'll beat the last chance qualifier champ, McFadden,
Yes.
who's coming off of injury.
Yeah, I'd say Mirasola versus Brooks, Mark Hall versus Derringer because there's no one else on that side of the bracket.
You think Mark Hall could win?
No.
Marco always seemed kind of small for this weight.
Yeah, he's an interesting.
He's so
Coaching at Penn, he'll have his towel around his neck. He'll be in his sweats. He'll be ready to go.
I don't think anyone can beat Taylor. I think this is Taylor's weight to lose.
I think it's Taylor's year again. I wouldn't. I think he's going to win the Olympics again.
Same.
But would you put him on your Mount Rushmore?
I wouldn't because he's only a two-time national champ. Love that comment.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
Like, how is a guy that's only
One of
won
those times
twice?
too, so.
Yeah, it's like, well, probably one of the greatest wrestlers ever, but I guess he's not good enough to be.
No, he sucks.
No.
He's a scrub. Why would you even consider putting him on the Mount Rushmore?
I'm gonna go with. Oh man, me and Eamon are on the same wavelength. I'm gonna go Hidley versus Zahid.
Whoa.
Hidley. No, I definitely got Marsteller, and I'm putting Marsteller in the finals there against Brooks.
Oh, that's silly.
Come on.
I was with you until you said that point. I have Marsteller, but the Zahid, and then I think Zahid's going to beat Brooks this time.
I don't
It'll be
think so.
Zahid versus Taylor.
I
No,
think
it's probably
Brooks has
gonna be
gotten.
Brooks Taylor. I don't think Marsteller could get past Zahid and Brooks. Although if Zahid beat Marsteller, I would pick Zahid to beat Brooks.
Interesting.
But I wouldn't pick Marsteller to beat Brooks. That's the matchup.
It is the matchup.
All right, well, drop your comments down below for the 86 kilos as we go up to 97. Will
So-
Jaden Cox make weight?
That was what I was about to say.
No.
I was like, so the biggest battle of this weight class is the scale and Jaden Cox.
So was it last year? Was it Kevin Jackson's fault or was it Jay? Like I still don't
It's-
understand.
Definitely. That was
It's two
2 years
separate
ago now.
events. One event it was he missed weight. The other was he got injured.
injured. But
No,
I think that's his fault. I don't think it was. From what I heard, it wasn't controversial. He got to the scale, and he was over.
I used to
Yeah.
And
He
that
will
was when
I don't know.
that's when he was going up from 92 to 97. And I was like, how do you miss weight 12 pounds up?
Hey, guys from they know. You just you overcompensate. You think you got more weight than you actually do.
Coach, I didn't drink anything. All I did was eat some yogurt.
Jaden Cox, by the way, has a lovely singing voice. He sang the national anthem
He does.
one year.
He also
Yeah,
plays the guitar pretty well. Like he's a big acoustic guitar guy.
Yeah.
So are
Did
these
you
brackets?
jam with Mike Gabordi?
Yeah.
It's the session. It's the crossover
up.
we didn't know we needed.
Yeah, the crossover we didn't know we needed. Yeah.
So is this bracket another bracket that's missing guys? It seems like
Yeah, it does
Now
seem like
there's
that.
just less guys that qualified, I guess.
No one wants to wrestle Kyle Snyder.
it's like
But Kyle Snyder, I feel like, is one of the more vulnerable guys that is sitting in the.
Who has he lost to domestically though? That's the
No,
thing.
no,
is
I'm
that-
talking about like based off his international performances. I feel like he's the guy that like is more prone to lose.
It
Like,
all happened when he went to Penn State.
You know what they do over there? They
should've
make
stayed
guys
at that
worse.
Buckeye Wrestling Club.
man,
They
Nate Jackson got hosed on the seatings. Like that is a
Yeah,
brutal.
Knight
like,
Jackson, Colin Moore. Like I'm like that sucks. That those two guys.
the other
like,
side.
I somehow don't see Jaden Cox actually making it to the best 2 out of 3.
I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
the best
Like, it
wrestler
could be
here,
he
though.
misses weight. It could be he gets injured. It could be he loses.
Trips on a bug.
Yeah, he trips on a bug.
He had a close match with Trumbull, didn't he?
He
I
did.
don't remember. I honestly,
so.
I gotta be honest. This is a weight that like outside of Kyle Snyder because he's been so consistent this weight and no one's really challenged him.
Trumbull has
especially the last
been. I
few
mean,
years,
he was in final. No, he wasn't in final X. He was in the finals.
That's what I mean. Like no one. I feel like I haven't even followed this domestically because all the Jaden Cox drama. Of, oh, him versus Kyle Snyder, him versus Kyle Snyder, and it never happens. I mean, to make the world team last year, Kyle Snyder just walked out, got his hand raised twice in 2 forfeits, and he's like, "Cool, I'm on the world team again."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
I'm so
Machiavello's coming up because he
Yeah.
wrestles 92. You think the NC State contingency is going to have a guy in the finals?
Maybe in the
Schultz-
finals, but
they've got a good chance.
Yeah, I mean,
Schultz-
they got 50-50 chance here, basically.
I think Schultz is tough. Eric Schultz.
Trumbull will beat him. Yeah, I think I don't know if Trumbull can beat Mock, even though Mock is lighter. I feel like he's bigger than Trumbull.
Didn't
I think-
Trumbull have like a great offseason of freestyle though?
Yeah,
he did.
yeah.
Schultz is beating Trumbull. That's my pick.
Whoa.
No,
Wow.
Trumbull's going to be in the freaking finals.
Here I was agreeing with you on so many things up until just now.
Yeah, me and Eamon were on the same wavelength, but
That's my upset pick. I do think that Schultz is good. He's better than his seed, but to be
he's
determined.
not bad. But he ain't. Nah, Trumbull's going to be in the finals. It's going to be. I don't see Jaden Cox being there, and I don't know why. Like,
I'm gonna say it's Anthony Cassiope
no.
versus Jonathan Aiello.
Yeah.
No,
I want
I'm
to put Nate Jackson on Trumbull.
I would say Jackson on Trumbull. I could see Jackson on Mock. Colin Moore is right there as well, but again, he's a guy that seems to struggle to get it done.
Yeah, he's always like right there, but not quite.
Just like last year, I keep saying season. Last year with Colin Moore against Zahid, and I'm like, hey, Zahid's coming up. Colin
Yep.
Moore has been a favorite at this weight, and then he got worked by
Yep.
Zahid, and I'm like, dang, dude, I'm pulling for you so badly. Just
Yeah,
it done.
I mean Nate Jackson does blow it, so I wouldn't be surprised if he lost to Colin Moore. But
Yeah.
I almost want to see Nate Jackson on Kyle Snyder in the best 2 out of 3. I feel like that would be the most dynamic best 2 out of 3 of this bunch.
I'm going Cox and my boy Schultz, and then I'm going Cox to win it, and then Cox is just gonna lose to Snyder.
I think
If Cox gets to the best 2 out of 3, it's going to be so boring. He's going to lose 2 straight.
Well, didn't
Unlike-
Snyder beat him up in that pay-per-view thing they did?
well,
That
that's it. Snyder beat him in back-to-back matches, and people are like, oh man, are you excited for the rivalry? And it's like hasn't wrestled in. It's not a rivalry.
it's not. It's just it was
One guy
over.
would have Yeah, one guy would have to win at least one time for it to be a rivalry.
Yeah. Yep. That.
I think
That's
I think Cox is making it and then losing to Snyder.
Yep.
It's the same thing with like Yazdani and David Taylor. It's like, oh man, like what do you think of the rivalry? And it's like,
Not
I think
really.
I was like, it's like 6-1. I was like, it's not really. I don't really think of it like that.
That's a bit different, though. I feel
Well,
like.
although I will say, I think Yazdani did get hosed on one of the matches that he lost.
Was that where he got pinned last year? That one? Because
No, not that
said
one.
that was controversial.
No, I don't think it was that one. I mean, before that, yeah, like I think he did get kind of hosed on a call, but then he got pinned, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, I think there was a match where it was like a really close, and it ended up being like a 1 point or a tie score at the end of it that went to David Taylor. That I think should have gone to Yazdani, but I think it was the year that I think it was the Olympics. I think it was when he won the Olympics but lost the Worlds to Yazdani, right? It was the same.
It was the same year, but I thought he won.
Yeah, I think it was the one that when Yazdani lost. I think it was he probably should have won.
The world's one.
I thought he won it convincingly, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, for honestly, I'm trying to.
Well, anyway, let's get to 125 kilos. Mason Paris is sitting.
Anyone here?
Greg making the finals. I'm sorry, he's not making.
Greg's not making the finals.
How about Hayden Zilmer taking the one?
I was about to say, does anyone here have Hayden Zilmer making it all the way?
Didn't he beat? Wasn't he the world member last year?
He was our world team member, and then last year he lost. No, he didn't even wrestle.
Yeah, because he had an injury, right?
Yeah,
I don't remember the exact.
Yeah, it was an injury.
But...
You know what, Greg? I apologize to you. You are making it because I don't.
He's beating Gwiz. If
I don't faith in Gwiz. Yeah.
You think Greg beats Gwiz?
Yes.
Yes.
Why?
I just think Gwiz is past his prime.
He's been past his prime for quite some time, but I don't think Greg's gonna beat him.
Classic Penn State hate.
Yeah, I was like, this guy, big Penn State hater over here.
Hey, that's my former teammate Nick Gwizdowski. So
oh, fair, that's true.
That is there. Yeah.
I think Gas Tank Gary Traub is winning it.
Or 8-year.
Well, actually, honestly, if someone has a good gas tank, they do have a solid chance of beating Gwiz because anytime he loses a close match, it's because he seems to gas. So
yeah.
But no, I'm picking Gwiz to be in the finals
there
against Wyatt.
Yeah, I agree. I think Wyatt's going to make the finals too. I really do.
Great American hero, Wyatt.
He's going to beat Don Bradley as a rite of passage, as all the guys that get there have to do.
It's part of the process is beating Don
Bradley.
Bradley.
Part of the process to getting the spot is you have to beat Don Bradley. And then after that, he's going to beat the former world team member Zilmer. And then he's going to have to go through Gwiz. And I think he will go through Gwiz because Mason Paris was able to go through Gwiz. And Hendrickson gave Mason Paris some pretty close matches that were like crazy scores, like 18-11. So I think it's going to be Wyatt on Mason in electric 2 out of 3 that goes probably to the third match.
What's crazy is I remember
way outside.
Hayden Zilmer wrestled my teammate Steve Schneider in college at 184.
Yeah, I was going to say probably at like a lighter weight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all I'm going to say is that Greg and Mason Paris have had a freestyle match before. Only one. And Greg won it.
Score?
Okay.
4-4 on criteria at the 2020 Olympic trials.
2020?
Yep.
So before Mason Paris became a world team member, Hodge Trophy winner, NCAA champ.
And Mason beat him like 2 times that year, didn't he?
No, Mason. So Mason had always lost to Greg in folk style up until this.
Well, no, but that was the year that Paris was injured wrestling.
That's true. He did have
Sounds like an excuse to me. I don't know.
He wrestled injured and he still took 5th in the country.
I don't know. Yeah, the next year he won the Hodge. So
and then the next year he won the Hodge. Like I think it's clear that he was not 100% that year.
I got Greg against Mason Paris in the finals with Mason Paris winning.
That's fair.
You have Greg making the best 2 out of 3?
Yeah.
No way.
I don't know how you're gonna say like Nick Wisdowski, who's in his 33 as well, is gonna be,
He's
the
not
better
33.
guy.
He's like 29, 30.
I'm going
He's
with
not
Greg.
20. I guarantee you he's not 29, 30.
Making the finals.
He
But
is.
I,
He's
I
only-
just
Definitely
turned
is.
28. I
He's
just
only a
turned
year
28.
older than me, Mike. He's 30.
He was
30
a freshman when I was a senior.
He'll be 32 this year.
Oh, so
I
he
just
was
pulled
He's
older.
it up.
31.
So he'll be 32 this year.
he's still not
Okay.
making the.
So he's 31.
Yes, he's 31. I said that. I said he's in his 30s.
You
In
said
his 30s now.
You go, he's 29. And I go, I'm 28.
29, 30, and he's turned out to be 31.
And he's 6 months away from being 32.
Okay. You could say anyone could be.
Age is just a number, okay?
This is
I'm
Eric.
between 1 and 12 months away from being 34.
I do think this is Paris's way to lose, though. I think Paris is gonna win this. But
He's
As
going to
with the
wrestle
last
Greg in the
weight,
finals.
As with the last weight, I think this is Paris's, and I think Snyder have a.
You guys don't think Wyatt has a shot at beating?
No.
wasn't he hurt all year? I mean, if he's
Wyatt's bad performance at NCAA's has not led me to be like, wow, he's just going to make a huge jump because he's suddenly
Bad
healed.
performance. He took third.
And Greg took first. You're saying
Yeah.
Greg won't even beat Gwiz.
Because that's Gwiz.
He tech pinned him this year.
Who tech pinned him? Greg tech pinned
Greg
Gwiz?
tech pinned Wyatt.
yeah.
That's different. That's
Because-
Wyatt. Different matchup.
But Wyatt is gonna take a match from Mason Paris, and Mason won't even Greg won't even get to the finals.
Yeah. Greg won't beat Gwiz. But Wyatt will.
I
Mike
think we're not
can't wrap
giving
his head around it.
we're not
It
giving,
doesn't compute. It
I'm gonna have
doesn't
an
compute.
end.
we're not
He's gonna
giving
go have an
Zilmer enough
aneurysm.
love here. I think
That's right.
Zilmer deserves some love as the world team member. He could definitely
2
make
years
it.
ago?
He's gonna have a top 10 performance. I guarantee it. He'll be, one of the top 10 guys in this bracket.
Top 10. Top 10.
I think he
Wrestle
could definitely
back.
make it to Mason Paris, but I think he'll lose to Mason Paris.
Yeah.
Zilmer? You're picking Zilmer?
I would pick Zilmer, yeah.
I'm not. I think that if a
Wait,
healthy
wait.
Wyatt is
Jack's
better
got
than him,
Zilmer on Paris. I got Wyatt. Mike's got Greg. Eamon, who'd you put
For the so
to
I
get to
have
Mason Paris?
I'm going Hendrickson, and then I'm going Greg.
So which one is making it to Paris?
Greg.
I'm gonna go not I'll go Greg, just because of what happened during the year. It's just it was awful.
Join the Penn State bandwagon, huh? He's got the
He's
clap.
clapping.
Ooh.
Real question, side note, does Oklahoma State poach one of the Penn State coaches?
No.
Nah. Penn State. They're
No,
able to keep all the. It's happy in Happy Valley, man. It's always happy, over there.
Have you heard any rumors, Eamon? I
I
could
have
think
not. I
that's
have
Coleman
not.
Scott.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Coleman Scott. I did hear though.
Well, they
like,
said that job had to be available posted for 5 days before they could hire someone.
Because of an Oklahoma state law for
Yeah.
public jobs.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. This just in. Keegan O'Toole, 3 seed, is now out for Olympic trials due to injury.
Oh, let's go. Oh, did he see David Carr was injured and was like, "Ooh, that's a good idea."
yeah, right. It's just
So
like
that shifts everything. So that means Monday is now the 3 seed.
okay. Question: you guys think it should be fair that if a guy injuries out, like say the guy who plays 7th at nationals should be able to then participate, or
Like
That makes
slide up.
Mesenbrink the 4, Shapiro the 5.
oh my god,
So then I don't think Messenbrink's going to beat Jordan.
Oh, so it's going to be Chenzo on Monday,
that's better for Chenzo. That's way better for Chenzo.
and then the Bull or Haynes on Nolf. So it's going to be Haynes on Nolf.
that is this.
It's going to be Haynes on. So yeah, it's going to be Nolf, and then
It really doesn't change our predictions, though.
No, I don't think it changes much.
You don't think the Bull can beat Haynes?
I think he could.
Yeah, I mean Levi's
now
probably
Monday isn't in the Monday. It could be Monday on Nolf.
I feel
Or
like
no,
they-
it's going to be Chenzo on Nolf in the semis.
They should replace the guys that scratch because I feel like it just I don't know like
Replace
Like from what? What do you mean?
Like- okay, so the guy who took 7th, say, I mean, why can't they put him in
7th at what?
at the senior nationals?
So he's saying like the guy, because someone scratched, everyone should like slide up so that we can
Yeah.
keep the brackets filled.
Like because it's
Mhm.
just emptying the brackets. It's like I
Well,
don't
some
know.
of these brackets are smaller. This was one of the more filled brackets.
Fair.
Oh, so wait, Lockett becomes a 12 seed who now has Shapiro.
Yeah, I feel like they don't think those things out at the international type level.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, when yeah.
Well, they also don't understand what a takedown is. I mean, when time's on a clock and a knee hits, it's just not a takedown. I guess. Like I don't.
Oh,
The
you're
match
talking
is
Jimmy
predetermined by the refs beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the low price of $300,000.
We won't
Yeah.
even that. I mean, that is just
Anyway, drop that's our preview for the US Olympic team trials. Drop a comment.
fact?
Oh,
Jack and I are going to be there Saturday.
hey, we are.
oh.
Just Saturday though. We're not going to get to see this bracket unfold in person, but we'll get to see the 2 out of 3.
So all you Penn State fans, play nice, and we'll see you there.
Yeah,
And
see you there.
drop a comment down below, and thanks for watching Cactus Wrestling.
Thanks for watching. We are Cactus Wrestling, and we'll see you next time on our next video.